nation, for the nation. Mama said that there will be days literally just like this.
Let it, run from it.
Destiny
arrives all the same.
And now,
It's here.
happy Friday to you. Happy New Year to you, and you. Let's get it. Heading into the last game of the season, Cowboys got some decisions to make. We talked about Black Monday, by the way. There should be some type of news announcing that one of the coaches are gone here. But we'll find out down the stretch. Let's get it. Ain't no party like a cowboy party. But what about a Law Nation's groove? Hallelujah. I feel you, Brandy. But as it always says, five, the longest intro in the land. 4, can you withstand the drought of 30 years, 30 seasons, over 10,000 days? Three.
Oh, look at my African American over here.
2.
Oh my goodness.
And buckle up, baby. Ain't no party like a cowboy party. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Appreciate each and every last one of you all. The name is Law Nation. Do me a huge, gigantic, Shackfoot favor. Hit that like button, share this content. And if you are on other platforms, subscribe as well. Let's continue to keep the engagement up. Cowboys, we're going to talk about all what we can. And we're going to open up the phone lines. We're going to let y'all vent and lament what happened wrong this season. We're going to try to have a beautiful day. On the year of 2026, we're in the mix. And as they say, a lot of things can happen and change within a year. And we'll see at the tip of this year how everything will materialize. I was talking to an individual about the Cowboys, and they said, well, you know, when the season is over with, maybe we could start talking stars or start talking basketball and all of this stuff. And I did this moment like this, like, I've been doing this for years. There's literally no off time for the Cowboys. Ain't this right? Now, there will be some people that will fall off, right, far as watchers and viewerships or what have you. It may fall down, but at the end of the year, there's this other thing that we do. What is the other thing, Law? Well, you know, come along. There's going to be some type of drama for your mama, right? There's going to be something that happened with a player, whether you pay him or not. Something that's going to come out, whether or not this guy is fully committed or he's not committed. Some other leakage of news of value versus worth. It's 365. Ain't this right, JV boy? People fail to realize that. They said, no, not. I said, yeah. Even the sponsors they got on the phone said, well, Law, you think we can probably take a look at next season? I said, no. No need to pull back, baby. No need to pull back. The season is not over. One can argue this is the most wonderful time of the year. Thank you. Because at this point, there's no wins, nor losses. It's just going to be all Cowboys, and we will be hoping that a certain team don't win it in the Super Bowl. But this been our realism for the last 30 years of the same rigmarole, right? So it is for what it is. And Cowboys, we had a great, and I'm talking about a real great conversation last night on the Cowboys Collective. And we talked about Black Monday, not just
Look at my African American over here.
not that black, but you know what I'm saying? Like, when it's time for coaches to get the boot, Randy Watson, yes. Yeah, I see you, Fab. I made somebody laugh. But it's the most wonderful time, thank you, of the year. Shout out to you, Jet Lee, 44, becoming a member. And when we start to contextualize this, Black Monday, should we get the news that the Cowboys... Breaking news, the Cowboys decide to fire Matt Eberflus for a very lackluster year. I get it. We all heard the news that he didn't have all of the pieces, but we should see something down the stretch of some levels of improvement. The Cowboys will be parting ways from Matthew Eberflus. With that being said, who should be your next defensive coordinator? We're hearing news that the Cowboys have made another announcement that it will be Aaron, not Rodgers, but White Cotton. He will be your next defensive coordinator. The Cowboys felt comfortable with him because continuity is a part of the brand, and he's already in-house. It makes sense. He already knows the team. He knows this. That's what it seems like it may be, by the way. That wasn't real breaking news, but that's just how it should be on Monday. It should be a way whereas we getting rid of one of these doggone coaches, and we're going to change it up a bit. Brende says, member for 18 months. Come on, baby. Yes, indeed. Silver level 1. Thank you. So that's just how it goes. Wouldn't make a difference if talent isn't there. I think that, talent is something that coaches elevate, right? On certain levels. Now, you have generational talent that it doesn't matter. They can fit. Let's break down before we get into the meat and potatoes. Let's break down talent, right? Let's break that down, too. Jet Lee, appreciate you, man. Happy New Year, and go Cowboys still, man. Yes, indeed. Let's go Cowboys, man. Let me give you a horn or something. Appreciate your support. Appreciate your support. Here we go. Get a man something. Come on. Yes. JT states a coach can't play the game, but what a coach should be able to do is play the game of the mindset. You want your players to adapt your type of mindset when they are out there on the field. Now, when we start evaluating talent, there are some people that's generationally talented. And I think that word is tossed around a little too loosely. I think that we toss around elite too loosely. But what generational talent means is that player, generationally speaking, you can put him in any time. You can put him in the 60s, he'll make it. You can put him in the 70s. That's a generational. He can make it. You can put him in the 80s. He can make it. The 90s, the 20s, however, I guess you start over. The 00s, the 10s, they should be able to say, generationally speaking, that Dion, man, ooh, generationally speaking, Emmett, oh my God, he can fit in any time slot. Sanders, all of these boys are generationally talented. So when you get one of them, it's not as much that you can coach to help elevate said player, right? But you got to harness the mindset. There was a guy that was generationally talented, but the demons destroyed him. And it goes all the way back when I was in the youth before the beard or what have you. His name was Hollywood Henderson. You can put him up there with any of the great linebackers that played this game. The guy can do kickoff return, pump returns, just super athletic, didn't know what to do with it. But he went against the coach, right? But he was generationally talented. But it never manifested because of the fact that he had off-the-field dramas and issues and other things that can get into the way. So there are some things that coaches supposed to be able to identify talent, harness that talent, and make sure that you put parameters around said talent, right? Reggie White, generationally talented. Started off with the Eagles, didn't play and perform up to the levels of what you thought that he was going to do collectively because they wouldn't have let him go or what have you, and went to another team and prospered into this great, the greatest one of the edge rushers you can ever think of, Reggie White, right? So we've seen things like this over and over again. Now, on this team, going into this season, we didn't have one of them ones as it relates to generational talent, right? So we might have had some subpar talent, right? Just above average. And we had a committee of other guys that's just right at average. The thing is, with coaching, you should be able to see something 1 week, and then from weeks down the stretch, you should see some levels of improvement. But if you're looking at this team, and if you're seeing everything, all groups being bad, it goes back to the philosophy what John Machota said. You take a handful of classrooms, and everybody failing, everybody. Now, that goes to the teacher. There should be some bright student out of the mix. And the only bright student that we had this season on defense, one can argue, Jadeveon Clowney? They don't even move the needle with 5 sacks for the season, right? I believe there was one game that one guy got 5 sacks in one game. And that's how many sacks he had for the season. And he's supposed to have been our best edge rusher on the team. And I think that we can give kudos and credence to Donovan Ezaraku as a rookie, putting up good numbers as a rookie. But that wasn't sufficient enough, So those are the ways that we got to look at this. Coaching failed us. His philosophy, his scheme failed us. Who's old enough to remember MacGyver? You give MacGyver a butter knife and some toothpicks, man, he'll be able to take down a whole elevator and save the whole crew of people because he just knew what to do with the small resources that he had. So you mean to tell me this brother had dental floss and a damn spoon, and he was able to do more than what a guy did with a gun? And that's just for what it is. Cowboys Nation, appreciate each and every last one of you all. So, with that being said, let's get right to it. I want to hear some of the players. I took some notes. This is George Pickens' trade in instant chemistry. This was talked about from Rain Dakota Prescott. Let's listen to this.
Dak, I posed this question to Pickens as well, but after you guys traded to acquire him, just the quickness in which you guys got a chemistry, the brotherhood that you guys established, and now he's on the verge of joining only CD and Michael Irvin in a category of 95 catches and 1,500 receiving yards. Just talk about the year you guys have had with him and just the impact he's had.
Yeah, he's had a huge impact. I mean, go back and right to when we made the trade. That was a position and a place that we know we needed help in, right? We had a guy like CD. We've got a guy like CD who, over the past couple of years, everybody knew that the ball was going to CD, and we're trying to get it there. And so, just trying to get help for him. We landed George, and I don't think anybody could imagine the amount of help that he's been and how great of a player that he's just stepped in and been from day one. You asking how did the chemistry form, the type of player that he is, and when he gets out there on the field, he wants to win every route. He's competitive, and he's a student of the game. He loves football. He loves football. I remember one of our first conversations was talking about my time at Mississippi State, him naming teammates, and just right then, he knows the history and he appreciates the game. And it's been a fun year, and as I've stated before, the importance would be making sure that we can keep him long term and doing whatever's necessary there. But credit him for a great season, and he's been huge help.
No doubt. Let's talk about chemistry for this point and why Dak Prescott mentioned that. Well, we going into the offseason after this game. Money Money, I read somewhere where money, for the love of money is the root of all evil, right? Write that down. But if you read a little bit further, it states money answereth all things. It didn't say a few things. It didn't say some things, a piece of things, a half of things, a part of things. It states money answereth all things. Now, going into the off season, either we can complete our offense and still try to find parts on our defense down the stretch and work this out, or we can try to mix and match and all of this stuff on all other areas. What I'm saying is, if you have the chance and an opportunity, don't play around with your food. Go ahead and complete one side of the equation, right? And that will be your offense. In my opinion, the Cowboys on offense, they need that other wide receiver. I know it's a luxury pick. Some people will say, hey, that's a luxury. But damn it, I want some luxury stuff, right? Complete that offense. Don't make excuses. Sign George Pickens. Stop doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results, Jerry. Bump all of this. You're trying to win the deal and all of this. Man, you're about 90 years old. You didn't go to Dollar Tree. You didn't go to Family Dollar when it was time to build that stadium. You didn't put those items inside. Who's been to the stadiums, right? The practice facility. Got marbleized floors and stuff. I don't see that Walmart. Wait. I don't see the McDonald's kitchen tile floors in any of these locations, right? Y'all know what the construction builder's grade tiles? No, we see marbleized floors, man. Smooth granite stuff, man. So people do what they want to do. So don't be the Dollar General boys. It's going to cost you money. So take care of it. That's the mindset. Let's go to this. I had another clip note. Want to pull this up so y'all can see it. I posted it on the site too. So if y'all ever go to thecowboys.com, I got the other clip note right here. The mindset heading into next game.
Losing Marshawn to win 3, lose 3, to, trading or releasing an elite cornerback in this league, right? Like, there's a lot that's happened in an organization that's on the forefront, and he's done a good job of staying the same man and being the same man throughout. And I think that's why guys follow, and that makes it easy too.
As a veteran guy, because you've seen a lot, how much you appreciate that hey, we got a young coach, but he's been around a little bit, that he's able to, what you say, keep everybody together.
Yeah, I appreciate it a lot. I mean, you say young coach, but the more time you spend around Shotty, you don't get that feel of a young coach. You get the feel of a guy who's been in it his whole life. And so, being a first-year coach, first-time head coach, he's done a great job.
Patrick mentioned a milestone possibly for George. Of course, you're leading in passing. How mindful are you and the staff of some of these milestones entering the final game, and is there a balance in trying to reach those and within the context of the game plan and what the defense is presenting?
I didn't know the George, know the passing yards. It'd be cool to stamp that at just lead the league in passing. Thinks Matt needs to rest. Matt Stafford probably needs to rest this week, get ready for the playoffs. That would help. It would be cool, but I'm playing the game. I'm not going to try to chase it. I'm not going out there, let me throw it every time. No, it may actually be opposite of that, right? Just trying to play a smart game, clean game, most importantly, get a win.
He a little stuffed up, huh? Let's go to leadership and team mentality.
I don't know, halfway through that season, I realized that what's on my bandwagon. He's got my back, right? And to understand how close that relationship was, it was weird to an extent. But to your point, it showed me team is what's important. At the end of the day, it's team over self, it's team over everything. And whatever's best for this team, whatever puts this team in the best situation, you've got to put your mind on that, and you've got to do everything you can to help the team push that. And that's what Witt did. And, once again, one of those things as well, Al, mimic them as long as I can.
Yeah. Somebody said that got a cold. I mean, it is for what it is. Texas, man, bipolar weather, man. Shoot, one day it's 90 degrees, the next day it's 30 degrees, man. It's just very great swing in Texas, man, as far as trying to keep the elements down. Let's go to let me see where I want to contract advice in the business side. Let's go there.
These two receivers to create runs away from them, or how can I set the defense up when we put them on the same side and we're running opposite, or how can I create more play actions with these guys, or maybe how can I use them in run solutions? Maybe it's RPOs, and we got to find a way. I won't necessarily say get those guys the ball more. They're definitely getting and making the most of it, but we've got to just
got the Snoop going.
Use their abilities with the ball and without the ball to maximize our efforts. And I know if we do that, this will be a dangerous offense because those are special players. Thank you, guys.
George, going into Week 18, you're 3 receptions and 80 yards away from being only the 3rd receiver in Cowboys franchise history to hit 95 receptions at 1,500. The only other 2, CeeDee Lamb, Michael Irvin. Just talk about how important it is for you to have a season like you've had and to join that kind of company.
It's super fun, definitely. I'd definitely say the season's super fun. It's still going on, like I say. That'll be an excellent company to be in with those two. But like I said, we just going to finish it strong, try to finish it strong, get us a victory.
Boy, if we look at the countenance on his face, man, I appreciate y'all. Thank you, everybody, man, for tuning in. Do me a huge favor. I know it's the off season. We're heading into it. Hit that like button, share this content for me. And let me break this part down. I think the Cowboys PR team need to start selling the ideology. Hey, man, get this deal done now. You're already up there. We talking about legacy building down the stretch. Another year like this, your first year, swing at it, you're already up there with Michael Irvin. And, of course, Lamb been here for a minute. Just think of the possibilities. All money ain't good money. But I do know that David Mulugeta is the kind of caliber of agency that they're going to want what's best for their clients. Athletes first, they're going to try to look at it from this aspect. Hey, you get the deal at the lowest of the minimums, man, you might have this on your side. But if you get the deal at the maximum of your minimums, you can get that side. And that is money. But it may comes with a crazy territory.
Have you already started peaking around Week 18 toward free agency, or are you completely kind of being where your feet are right now?
Kind of being where my feet is, just not knowing how. You see what I mean? I think the not knowing of how stuff is going to go, you kind of want to embrace definitely where you at.
Jerry Jones was asked the other day about your contract and whether he'd want to talk to you directly or deal with David, and he said both. How prepared are you to talk contract and business with Jerry Jones?
Super prepared. I definitely leave that type of stuff to like my agent just because I let them talk the deals and all that stuff. But definitely super prepared.
Coming into the season, obviously we had a perception of who you are. Now we kind of know who you are.
Yeah.
Now as you move forward, are you like, see, I'm who I said I was?
Kinda in a way, but most definitely not too much. I kind of stay myself because I always say, I kind of knew who I was from the beginning.
It's obviously the first time you're going to be a free agent. Mm-hmm. How do you approach the off season? Like, do you get away from football for a little bit, or are you focused on the contract, or you work out? Like, what do you do when you don't know where your future is going to be?
Yeah. I definitely just say stay prepared for the future. I feel like that's the best thing you can do. So, like you said, work out. Kind of still do the same routine as far as be a complete football player, the sport I play.
What is that routine that you do?
Hey, I like that. It's better to be prepared for an opportunity and not have one than to have the opportunity and not be prepared. So that's the right preparation of the mindset. And this is part of the culture that you want. Now, granted, there may be some resistance and stuff like that because of the fact that he come from Pittsburgh, and he did have some cries on the sideline here and there while he was there, or the let me just say this, or the reputations that Steelers wide receivers exist or embodies. He haven't been that crazy person to us. in my opinion, outside of the realm of, hey, I told you on a few games that they say he had alligator arms or he didn't play through the echoes of the whistle like we are customarily wanting to see after, 3 games in 17 days or how many days it was. Of course he was going to have a setback. Of course he's not going to play perfect. And, of course, I'm still mad at Detroit because they beat us and did nothing with it. Detroit are just a North version of the Cowboys. How they have all of that talent and couldn't make it to the postseason? What happened? Somebody let me know what happened to Detroit. They beat us and did nothing with it. Come on, man.
Yeah, you first.
Get body treatment. Definitely get body treatment, work out, tap into high speed, see how fast you can run, kind of like just reboot yourself for the new season.
I know you've said before that you've done stuff in the offseason with CD. Do you think that maybe you guys will do more this year?
Oh, definitely, because definitely more in contact now, so most definitely.
Obviously, there's mutual interest between you and the organization as well, but free agency is free agency. Never really know how that goes. Can you just talk about how key it was for not only the Cowboys to make the trade for you, but how quickly you were able to build brotherhood within the locker room with CD, Dak, and those guys?
Super important. I definitely say that was super important, just especially the brotherhood part. Like you said, getting to know the guys, because I feel like if you go on any team or any organization that you're in, if you don't know the people, then you'll never really have a good time there.
Obviously.
Ooh, y'all hear those nuggets, man. Shoot, where my corns at least? Jeez. I'm gonna have some corns fall out of the sky, because at the end of the day, that is something that we all trying to exist right here. Yeah, the rings, been giving the rings, man. Writings on the wall. Don't play around with it, Jerry. He already said that he's not the kind of caliber of person like Michael Parsons. And no offense to Michael Parsons, but Parsons was a happy-go-lucky kid. As soon as you let him off the leash, he was just jumping everywhere, right? And I thought that he probably went to Jerry Jones and said, hey, let's get this deal done. Let me start doing the math. Then realize, checkmate, let me just check in with my boss. Everybody have to answer to someone, right? And the whole fiasco of Jerry trying to get straight to the player and not speak with the agent. I'm so glad that Pickens don't have that type of chemistry with Jerry. Jerry's not buttering him up and schmoozing him here and there. No. But he was doing that with the number 11 guy, right? Taking him to the games and buying this, putting them in the suites and stuff like that. Had more time to try to build that particular brand of, hey, I'm here for you. And then he probably looked around and said, hey, you going to do this to me? Oh, my, you going to do this to me? Trust me. Don't trust that guy over there. Don't trust him. Trust me. How you going to do that? You're supposed to trust me, not some random. I can do more than what David Mulaketa can do. So it's my turn. It's my turn. Trust me. But we don't have to worry about GP, because GP, they never established that connection.
Your situation is much different, but is there anything in the back? It would have to be in the back of your mind how Micah's situation played out last season.
Definitely two different positions, I'd probably say. But then again, like I said, Micah is Micah, I'm me, so definitely just let them kind of do their thing.
When was the last time you talked to Jerry or Steve?
It's been a while, but I always see them. They always come on the field and stuff like that.
Obviously, we know what the money is for receivers. How exciting it is for you to go into free agency? Are you excited to go to free agency after having a season like this to really maximize your earnings?
Definitely, like you said, just a good opportunity. Me personally, I definitely wanted to keep playing and, to hopefully try to make the playoffs. It's just like how I'm wired.
Right.
Definitely a winner. Just want to, as long as we can play ball, just keep playing it. But definitely a great opportunity.
There are only 3 first-team APL Pro receivers. Who should those 3 be?
I don't really know the other 2. Besides, I only be around bro every day, so me and CD, that's all I can say.
Ryan Floyd, right?
Yeah, we got Flo in there. We got Flo in there too.
Well, I don't know if we ever asked you, were you surprised to see in that Hard Knocks we saw that Brian Schottenheimer was wearing a shiesty?
Yeah, I did see that.
Does that surprise you at all?
That was super funny to me. It's super funny indeed, man.
Appreciate everybody, man, for rocking with us. Let's get this conversation going. Appreciate everybody, man. This is Schottenheimer on Joe Milton.
The last couple of weeks about Joe Milton, somebody you talked about a lot over the summer, and how he was somebody who needed more time on task and things throughout training camp, and that's why you guys were trying to give that to him. But I'm curious, there's some parallels, I think, in terms of capital that was given up and the position that they're in behind an established quarterback between the situation with Trey Lance and now the situation with Joe Milton. Did you learn anything or take anything from the experience with how you guys handled Trey Lance and are able to apply it or change it up differently with Joe Milton?
Yeah, I think so. I think when you look at each situation, they're a little bit different. Like they both have.
Pause. Let's pause. Yeah, y'all want the realness of it, or we still playing around with our damn food? Let me just say this, and I'm being real with y'all, and this is what part of the problem for 30 years and 30 seasons is all about, basically. Who's the backup quarterback for the Kansas City Chiefs? We don't know. We don't give a damn, right? To a point and to a stretch, who's the backup quarterback for the Eagles? We don't know. We don't give a damn, right? Who's the backup quarterback for the LA Rams? We don't know. We don't give a dog. Nobody cares. Nobody gives all of this attention to the backup quarterback. Y'all see where I'm going? Who's the backup quarterback for the Seattle Seahawks? Nobody's giving the radio stations 2 cents on that. Who's the backup quarterback now for the 49ers? Nobody gives a dog. Nobody gives a care. But here in Cowboys land, every year we take out segments upon segments about the backup quarterback and what they gonna do and how they improve and how they didn't improve. And it goes on and on and on about the backup quarterback. Spending all of those valuable pieces on things that don't even help this team collectively. This is what we do. We played around and toiled around Trey Lance. We literally paid about $8.5 million. That's a positioning that we could have inserted in. That's a Derrick Henry. I wondered what Derrick Henry would look like in this particular offense, mixed in with Javonte Williams. Ooh! This is what we do.
They both have attributes that I think are really, really incredible. I'll speak more to Joe just because, Joe's a guy that's currently on our roster. And, just his arm talent is everybody wants to talk about the velocity, and how far he can throw it. But you just talk about a guy like Joe Milton, I mean, you talk about the accuracy and the ability to make all the throws and off-platform throws. And, he is just incredibly talented. Where, Trey's a great quarterback in his own right, but he plays a little different. He's more of a runner. And, I think we saw something in Joe that wanted to make us make the trade, and he is not disappointed. Again, I think he's just the future. It looks so bright for him, and learning this system and doing things he's never been asked to do. From Michigan to Tennessee, it's been cool for me to watch him pick up on some of the things, and it takes time. It really does. It's not something that's built overnight. And again, we're very, very excited to have Joe be part of our football team.
You've gotten plenty of questions the last couple weeks.
Man, it's crazy.
Coach, look, it's been a struggle this year on defense. And as a first-time head coach and as really an offensive coach, as your background coming in, how hard is it, for you in your first year Well, you're on the sidelines and you're the head coach of the entire team, and yet, the side of the ball that you are really haven't been a part of is struggling. How is that, for you?
You get what you deserve. Unfortunately. Shotty, we all respect the positioning of a head coach. But you get what you deserve. This is on your resume. If we've been saying, hey, we don't have the pieces. Well, dog it, at some point of time, you're going to have to fabricate the pieces. You don't wait to the last hour and say, hey, you know what? We just didn't have the pieces. We didn't have the finite skill set of the knowledge and all of this stuff because we didn't have the pieces. The guerrilla warfare was something that happened in Nam. They didn't have the pieces. They didn't have the high-end efficiency levels of high technology. They didn't have the keen sense of missiles and grenades and all of these weaponry going up into war against the big machine. And for political aspirations, I don't want to dive too deep. But one thing that they did had was guerrilla warfare. What was that? They knew the terrain. They knew the area better than anyone else. So they build tunnels. They build traps. They build things and stuff that can knock you out and paralyze you because they knew the toxins in the area. And they said, hey, if you think you big and bad and you think that you almighty, come to where we at. I guarantee you, you may kill us. You may kill a few of them. But at the end of the day, we're going to hit you even harder because of our ability to move quicker than you, because we know the terrain, our ability to make the adjustments because we know the terrain. Oh, y'all going to use mustard gas? Oh, we got to counter to that. And that is what keen sense of adapting all is about. You may not have all of the weaponries, but you're supposed to you're supposed to be able to adapt to those things. Deceptions, yeah, win by deception. Hell yeah, yes indeed. And then sometimes when you go into war, I wish I had one of these horns. But what the battle horn was, is like a reminder. And sometimes just by the horn itself intimidates those who's a little fickle. Sometimes the horn itself brings back old memories of when somebody had their head blown off or lost a limb or a phalange, and they hear that horn and it goes into the mindset. And you're sitting there saying, oh man, I'm really not about this life. Let me put my bow and arrow down because the machine is coming. And you wipe off about a third just by the horn. It's tactics. It's the skill set. So some people wonder, like, why in the hell would the positioning of the opposing side sound off a horn? Won't that give up the location where they at? No. It is a mindset technicality that we finna go to war and we finna set off something. And if you want to talk, you want to run your mouth, just let them know that we're coming. My fofo make sure all your kids won't grow. You know what I'm saying? We about to be, my body be punished for hard living. Hands on the straps of praying, so Father, please forgive me. Because when they see me, they know it. Because they know they're going to fear me in the physical form. Let it be known I'm troublesome, baby. And we coming. So yeah, head coach, you supposed to be able to make that necessary adjustments, and sometimes the head coach got to coach the coaching. Yes, indeed. See, somebody got that horn, like tired-ass Cowboy fan, and said they did the inverse to him. Woo! Oh, my goodness, a double entendre what that horn do, baby. You see, for some folks, it scared the living bejesus out of them, right? But for others, for those who's baptized in the fire, for those who are willing to run through that wall, it kind of amped them up right now. Shoot, somebody right now saying that, hey, we might not make it to the postseason, but damn it, shoot, somebody finna get a broken jaw. Man, I'm finna erase somebody's eyelids over here, man. Shoot. Man, they done fooled around and picked up the wrong person because it's finna be trouble.
Parsons! What is your profession?
Yo! I'm finna adopt that mindset. Yeah, it's only about 300 of them. They finna go up against thousands. For those who really rooted in like this, you can get my 300 versus your millions. And you would know who we are by the end of the day. Even with the sound of the horn and the battle axe scraping off against your forehead, you gonna know that you finna pay a price.
Spartans! Prepare for glory!
Yes, indeed. And that's what needed to happen. Not all of this soft cuddle stuff that whatever he's about to say far as a rebuttal. Let me see what he's gonna say.
Yeah, I mean, it's part of the game. It's what you sign up for as the head coach. And believe me, there's been times this year where, you know, we haven't done enough good things on offense. And, again, I'm going to be judged and we're going to be judged based on wins and losses and not, okay, what does stats look like on this side of the ball or all three phases, offense, defense, special teams. And, again, I think one of my strong suits is when you're an offensive coach, you understand what causes you problems. And so when you go into meetings and you're in and around the staff or watching some of the things they're doing and we're talking and I'm telling them some of the things that I want, it's based on things that give me problems and
Y'all. Yeah. I want to keep hitting that horn to somebody say, man, stop playing that horn, you know. He said, I'm telling them on defense some of the things I want. Mistake number one. I'm telling him in that defensive room what I need. I can want a lot of things, but I need this to happen. I need you to get into that room. We shut the door. We break the doorknob off. It's just me and you. We going over the tape, and I'm telling you, these are the things I need to happen. If not, before midterms around this mug, you're going to be wanting a job because I got to make sure that I take care of me. It's a thing in life. It's the reason why some coaches go insanely crazy when they so dedicated to this particular craft as it relates to head coaching. And it's only a selective few. Jamie Johnson didn't have time to have a squeeze. You know what I'm saying? He had to leave his lady and kids almost and say, hey, this is what I'm in love with here is winning. Winning is the number one thing. Man left his wife and kids, everybody. He probably having a little side thing going on. But, hey, this is what I'm about. Now, I don't care about y'all about being in your damn feelings, but I'm just telling you, I want me a coach like that by all means necessary. Hey, man, I'm going to put my life on hold for about 5 or 6 years. I got something that I want to take care of. What that is? A win. Because when you are in this particular mindset, it's like a warrior's mindset. You know what I'm saying? Man, I was reading this word many of years ago, and there was a guy named Uriah. See, he was all about the cost of winning for the nation that he was a part of. And Uriah had a lady, his Swedes. She had her needs. And the words in that book, they try to make it very PG-13. She knew what she was damn near doing. So she had needs and desires. And she said, you know what? I'm going to take me a full bath on top of the roof of the house, knowing that the king himself going to look down. And the king probably minding his own damn business. He looked over, he looked down, he said, man, some cheeks there, boy. Yeah, oh my goodness, that's some cheeks, man. She ain't taking a little wash up, she giving me a full show. Hey, man, go down there and grab me that lady right there. Hey, but she's married, that's okay, grab her, let me have a conversation with her. Send for her, you know. While that man out there in war, he's in the battles. He don't give a dog. He just trying to make sure that he protect his kingdom. He trying to protect the lady that he's fighting for and all of his offspring. So the king then did some things to that lady and regretted it just a little bit. And what he did for, he said, man, send me that guy. Tell him to come back. Maybe he can lay down on her, you know, and partake upon some cheek action. I'm giving y'all the real raw uncut version. They brought Smooth back, and Smooth was all dedicated to some war. He wasn't dedicated to some cheeks. He said the only battle that I'm gonna get down in the lowdown is a battle with my knife or my sword or my machete. If I had a gun during that time, hey, when I held that 9, all I can see was my kingdom being protected. No, I'm not finna lay down with her. It's all about war. And my body be punished for hard living, hands on the straps of praying, so Father, please forgive me. Come on, baby. So that's what it was. So he wasn't ready to go lay down with his lady. No, King had to switch up a position. I'm telling you, I want our next coach or whoever's on defense to have the mindset that I don't give a dog about just laying next to some cheeks. I don't give a dog about making this person happy about their life in these type of situations. All I care about is winning. That's the number one cause. I don't give a dog about life and all of this stuff of equilibriums and all of this stuff. I just want the next team that I line up against to be laid out like Family Guy. Come on with it, baby.
And they understand the cost that is involved.
Yeah, I want that type of coach, man. Somebody like, man, I don't like Law, man. Law too stirred with his beliefs. Law want everybody to be like Jimmy Johnson, win at all costs. Boy, Law want everybody to be like Bill Belichick when he was trying to win. Hey, if you're not cheating, you're not trying. Boy, that Bill Belichick he fooled around and get the answers to the test. Hey, they said that, hey, they didn't let us see what he had on them tapes. Who's to think that he didn't make copies? Come on.
Take the money out!
Yeah, shoot. He said he had copies for at least 10 to 15 years. People fail to realize that, hey, they just took the tape and they burned them. Like, dog, that was the lie that they gave us. What they should have done, I'm going to get back to subject matter because we just talking about the tape. What they should have done with the tape is presented it in front of all of the 31 other teams and said, this is what they got. This is what they know of you, right? And now we can burn the tape after all 31 eyeballs and seen the tape. But no.
Things that kind of keep me up at night and things I'm like, man, this is kind of a pain in the ass. And at the end of the day, there's a lot of value in that. Game day is a little bit more difficult because you are trying to call the game and things like that. That's real. But at the end of the day, one of my strengths is my ability to kind of, number one, I work really, really hard, and then time management, something I think I'm really good at. But it's all part of the process, and every head coach goes through it.
No. If you work really hard and you getting the results done on your side of the field, what are they doing? Match their energy. Match that energy. And that is a problem. Because I need to hear that Matthew Eberflus is saying that, hey, I work really, really hard, because at some point you can't have two masters. Ain't that right? AI teacher, can you bring that point up again? Come on, AI teacher, I know you're there.
No one can serve two masters. Either you will hate the one and love the other, or you will be devoted to the one and despise the other.
Most certainly. Most certainly. And it reflects. There's no way that Matt Eberflus can say, hey, man, I've been working really hard. Oh, my gosh, man, I've rolled up my sleeves. I've been trying to figure out ways to get this team better. So on one end, you got a coach that's trying to work really, really hard to get things going and making things right and proper. And then on the other end, you got someone that's casually, even if it's perception-wise, it's casually going week in and week out. Getting that ass toe up out of the frame. Just getting beat down. No adjustment. Just beat down cheeks. No adjustment for 15 to 17 weeks.
Coach, look, it's been a struggle this year on defense.
And that's where we need to improve at. This is the next subject matter. Micah Parsons sends a shot at Jerry Jones.
Micah, as he does, want to jump into the fray, into the conversation.
Yeah, so they had yesterday, Matt Eberflus, Clarence Hill had this tweet yesterday, said, Cowboys defensive coordinator Matt Eberflus admitted things changed for the defense when they lost an all-pro pass rusher who can win quick, but you can't look back. And Micah...
Before we go into that detail, so you mean to tell me that issue occurred way before the season literally started and it lingered all the way through?
Quote tweeted it with a million crying laughing emojis. So some people got onto his case a little bit. Like, dude, you're not even in Dallas anymore. What do you care?
Yeah,
blah, blah.
let it go.
Even some Green Bay people were getting in his mentions about it. And he replied a few minutes later and said, y'all want me to feel bad? Jerry Jones slandered my name to Cowboys media and national media for months, so I do think I can react to comment if I want to. Hashtag respectfully.
Micah.
Two things can be true. Let me say this again. Two things can be true. On one end, we can say, hey, Jerry Jones slandered the kid's name. On the other end, we can say, hey, Micah Parsons have a right to be feeling this way, and that's his rebuttal, right? But we can tell feelings hurt, and the immaturity levels is peaking at its all-time height, right? Because I'm going to tell y'all, man, shoot, Gina, ain't this right, DP, ice cold? Let me get $47 to $49 million somewhere. Boy, it'd be an afterthought. Let my team, are the Packers even going to the postseason? Y'all let me know. Shoot, let my team, and I know he's hurt, so he can only say so many things. He better be trying to recover and get ready for 2026, right? And it's going to take a year. Parsons may not be parsing until 2027, 2028. That's how crazy these ACL tears could be, right? So that should be the main focal point. But two things can be true. Old folks say the dog they get hit with the brick. Yep. Now Parsons and Diggs both enemies of ours now. That green is terrible. That yellow is terrible. Can't stand nothing about the Green Bay Packers. I can't stand them, And they both are the reason why we had a great season in 2023. And now the team that took us out got the people that was in it, outside of course, Trayvon Diggs, because he was hurt that year. So we will say.
Now, maybe he finds that guy again in Green Bay. I actually would love it if he would, because he's one of the most fun players I've ever seen whenever he's on. The style of play that he has, I understand there's some risk-reward with it, but damn, it's fun. In the same way that Joey Gallo's fun to watch at 40 home runs and how exciting it can be. And I hope he's able to get that again, just not with Green Bay. Because that would obviously suck for Dallas. Now, maybe he finds that guy again in Green Bay. I actually would love.
What's at stake and what will happen in the final week of the NFL season? Browns defensive end Myles Garrett. He has 22 sacks this season. What's at stake? Half a sack away from the NFL record.
Well, he might get that. Yeah, I ain't going to even hold y'all on that.
Sleeper is the #1 fantasy sports app. It pays to know sports. Pick more or less on top players. Your first pick is on us, so start winning now. Play in Texas, Georgia, Minnesota, and 27 more states. Pick anytime across all sports, pregame or live. Over 10 million players are already on Sleeper. Make your picks count. Score up to 1,000 times your cash. Join today. Get up to $100 credit using code LAW. Call your shot on Sleeper. Download now.
No doubt. Download Sleeper. Use promo code LAW. And when you use promo code LAW, $20 from me to you is added to that account, as well as they will match up to $100 of your first initial deposit. So that's quick math, $220 if you add all of that together, if you do that. So from me to you, appreciate everybody, man, for tuning in. The name is Law Nation. Now, on the next subject matter, we can go down two roads. And before I go down two roads, we got a super chat from G Cowboy. It states that Eberflus still thinks his cover 2 should work. Doesn't know how you can't sit in cover 2 all day unless your front 4 is getting home consistently. Is that what you're trying to say? Is Eberflus still thinks his cover 2 work or should work? I mean, cover 2 and cover 3 defenses are different, of course. But you primarily need some type of level of pass rush. Now, we looked at Reuben Baines of the worlds and the David Baileys of the worlds and Howell. I've been looking at some of his tape as well. But these are rookies. Even if we draft Reuben Bain, got to expect at least, 4 or 5 sacks maybe, if lucky. And he should be one of your first edge rushers gone in this draft. We don't have a chance nor opportunity now. We won too many games. Don't y'all know this game right here, the final game versus the Giants? We win this game, we picking in the 20s. 18 to 20 range. That's a way different than what we were thinking that we was going to pick at just a couple of weeks ago. Because we win too many games, and that's okay. 8-1 is a good thing to put on your resume. Whoever you get, hey, that's just how the chips may fall. But we have to start thinking beyond just the draft. If we're going to get pressure, the quickest way, y'all saw Myles Garrett, is throwing in something to get somebody of that kind of caliber or ilk to that degree. And they're not easy to come by. So all of the people that was talking about, hey, we need pass rush. You be really crazy to say that now after you said that, hey, we needed to stop the run and the pass rusher that we did have, couldn't do that. Brandy states, Micah is just like Jerry. Of course. And I wanted to, and I'm not going to play the entirety of that clip, but you guys can be sure to go to my Instagram. And I talked about the cultural aspect of it. Mickey Spagnola, and let me just say this. Mickey Spags said on the podcast on 105.3 The Fan that he didn't like the ideology of players like a Parsons or like a Trayvon Diggs having their own little specialized hangout section while practice was going on. Whoever heard the terminology as above, so below? The fish rots from the head down. To this point and to this degree, they are only replicating what they're seeing and what is allowed because they see it from as above, so below. They try to be like many Jerrys. Law, do you have any truth to this? Law, you're wrong. Man, Law, you don't know football. Law, you don't know X, Y, and Z. Well, look at this. Look at this. We're talking about practice, not a game. So where do you think that these players get some of this attention from? Where in God's green earth that this is acceptable? Your culture going to start from who exhibits it. As above, so below. So if you want to change culture, look, how about be on time? Don't fly in while practice is going on. This is a distraction. No matter how you cut it up, cook it, this is a distraction. You're not going to win when you do these type of things. Got Cuddy with the super chat.
At G Cuddy $7,991 9.99. Law, I called Diggs to Packers during my call with you as the story broke. Remember?
Right. Those were some options that he was going to go to, either the Packers to a point and to a degree, the Chicago Bears to a point and to a degree. Yeah, so yeah, you're right. You're right. But we got to make sure that if we're talking about culture changing, well, let's try to change it from above, not down below, and expecting that to happen for what happens below to happens above. No, you got to change it from the top all the way down to the bottom. All right, so in this conversational pool, we can either listen to Jerry Jones or Schottenheimer. Let me just play a little clip of Jerry Jones right quick before it goes away. And let's see.
Appraised of the type of character that he had coming out of school, but hadn't coming out. And we knew that went with the physical package of what he could do physically. So we were really elated when we got him in the third round. He was disappointed. He was always disappointed, and he was right. He should have been a first rounder.
Now, there's a big game coming up on Sunday against the Giants. I know you've talked about it. I know Shotty has talked about it, the desire to win this game and the desire to get to 8-1. And I want to get back around to that in just a second, but there are so many issues percolating this morning. One of them being, I know he's not even on the team anymore, but Micah Parsons tweeted out, and I quote, "Jerry Jones slandered my name to Cowboys media and national media for months, so I do think I can react to comments if I want to. Hashtag respectfully." This was in a back and forth about Diggs and Eberflus and things like that. What do you think about Micah's assertion that you slandered his name?
Well, I wish Micah the very best, and I think a lot. I really do. I think a lot of his mom and family. And Micah just got to where he outgrew our ability to pay him. And he's a great player, and he's going to make great plays.
Damn, Jerry, they put the Sonic on you.
Everybody knows add and subtract and get 5 for and what the decision came down to.
That's that Bohemian Grove interference, y'all. This is on their website, so unfortunately, I don't have any clear audio.
I'd to have Micah on the team, but we just couldn't afford him, and we wanted 4 or 5 players more than we did him. But he's outstanding. I understand his
Man, shoot. At some point, these guys got to be able to have gonads and cojones, man, and just rip them out, man, and let them know, hey, man, things didn't go the way we wanted to happen as far as the contract, and we decided to part ways. Don't go into the mindset about money, because we evidently had the money, and the 4 and 5 players that you kept ain't really worth what we got as far as productivity out of Parsons. There's no one or rhyme or reason to say outside of Tyler Smith that it was worth it. Like, to a point, if you play the game of rather, I would rather, nobody's going to sit back and say, yeah, give me Osa, give me, let me order the Blands of the worlds and throw in a Ferg in his production. No, nobody's going to say that. Just go ahead and say, hey, things ain't meant to be together forever. We made a business decision. And look, let's start talking about the things that we got in return. We got a Quentin Williams here. We're going to see what we can do with Kenny Clark to renegotiate his contract, and it's done, guys. Let's just put a stake in it. And that's all you had to say, Jerry. Somebody need to be PRing. We need to hire a new PR guy, because when Rich Dalrymple was here, and no offense to the other PR team, my bad, but hey, when Rich Dalrymple was here, the only problem he had was with the ladies. He just liked to be peeking Tom on the cheerleaders. You know, man, you should have just paid him off, give him a little few girls on the side or what have you, and say, hey, keep everything clean. I know that sounds crass to say, but that's just for what it is.
His sensitivity and can even understand these
Fix
comments,
this, Rich.
But, the facts are the facts, and when you just put it on one player, that player can get hurt. And if you got it on 4 or 5 players, the chances of all of them getting hurt are not there. And so you often don't have those players when you put that high dollar on them. That goes with the risk of putting all that money on one player. But to be real clear, it certainly never was personal with Micah.
Have you ever experienced this kind of emotional back and forth with another player in your time, Jerry?
Always. Everybody's very sensitive when you're talking about their finances, and you talk about it. It is like a critique of their play.
Dog, if you knew that you was gonna get that, all you had to do is took care of it before we get to the last hour. That's all you had to do. And the asking price wasn't $47 million. If you took care of business on the front end, he wouldn't even had the room to say even 40. But what the Cowboys did, they waited to the last minute. Now, here's what I'm trying to say. Now, I don't know, Jerry might outlive us all, and I know that this is water under the bridge. But I'm only saying this for context for the next player that we're going to draft for what have you. Because y'all would turn on that next player just like y'all did to this player 3 years, 4 years from now. So the next player, what I'm saying is, whoever we draft in the draft, because y'all be ready to turn on them in 3 years. Just make sure, so that we don't have this culture, make sure that you take care of them earlier. And I know that we've been burnt from some of the players that we paid earlier. But make sure that you don't wait to the last minute or the last hour. And on top of that, if you're going to do this philosophy here. Trade them away. You don't have to sell it. You don't have to denigrate. This can be the Cowboys' new way. After 3 to 4 years, if you can't make the cut, then trade them away, Cowboys. Look, it makes no reason to hold on to this particular drama going into the next season. It's old news. So therefore, the next player that we draft, make sure you get something in return, just like this one. But don't get all of the negativities.
And I completely understand why it's sensitive to talk about that. And I go through that emotional gambit and have with most every decision that I've ever made that were meaningful. And since I started out pretty slim, every decision has been meaningful if it gets over in that financial world. And, man, I could get mad in a minute if somebody tried to charge me more than I wanted to pay for a car. And I'd get mad at them. But after it was over, we hugged and made up, and I drove off with the car, and he put the money in his pocket.
I love the analogy of the car. And when a car first come out, it has its market, it has its value. And when other cars and series come out with that same line, it have its market, it have its value, it have its parameters. No one should ever be able to say to themselves, man, I overpaid for a car, especially if it's the kind of caliber of car that you're looking to go purchase. And if you're using market rate, market value. I love this because we use this analogy all the time. And of course, we all know that cars are depreciations of assets, right? They don't really gain value, right? And if you're a business person and you got a certain car that weighs a certain ton, you know what I'm saying? You can write that off, and you write mileages off. We get all of that aspect of it. But in this particular realm of thinking, you can't get mad at the person who you said that you had a car for sale and you overpaid for it, when there was options on the table available for you to get that car at a cheaper price. You the one drove the price up on your own vehicle and get mad about it when it's time to pay for it. You drove the price up on Dak Prescott. You drove the price up on CeeDee Lamb. You drove the price up on Micah Parsons. These are homegrown guys that you had every ability to make sure to grab these guys before they introduced into the market. So you can't get mad at nobody but yourself.
There you go. Jerry, we've seen, and we've been critical about this a lot of times, Kevin, you and I both, about this organization holding on to players for too long. And then we'll also complain that maybe you cut a player, moved on too early. What goes into deciding to stick with a guy or cut bait?
Well, I really think that if you really think about it, you're going to always be a little early or a little late. Always. It's impossible to just nail it. And so, it is a lot of things are involved. Certainly you get to have personal relationships with players, and that's real hard to do. I have trouble doing it. I have trouble going past my personal relationships with players, and I've made mistakes because of it. And that's a part of it. It's not necessarily unique, though, to the Cowboys or football. It goes on out there every place, and those decisions become personal for the ones involved.
Now, you were on with our morning show on Tuesday, as you are every single week, and right after that, later in the day, Trayvon Diggs was waived from the team. I know there's a lot that goes into it. It wasn't just one incident, but I am curious, do you feel like that relationship was essentially broken when Diggs wasn't at the team facility for rehab earlier in the year?
You know, a lot is made of relationships, and they are important. But at the end of the day, I've seen players have great careers and not be necessarily excited about who the coach is or who they're.
Man, come on, man. Y'all know what happened. Emotion make you cry sometimes. They get in the way, you know. All I can say is you didn't have to announce that $500,000 wasn't going to be paid to Trayvon Diggs due to the fact that he rehabbed on his own. You didn't have to leak that out. There are contract clauses and all of this stuff in a lot of people's contract. You can pull it up. You can find ways to decipher this and that. But you don't have to speak upon everything. There are some certain cases and scenarios that we can keep things privately, right? You don't have to announce all of your decisions. But if you want to tear down something, yeah, you can leak that out. Hey, man, based off of him being independently, not with the T, $500,000. Fine. Right? Or $500,000 not received because it never was a fine. But that's going to be the titleship. $500,000. Right? Nobody talk about the incentives of what coaches probably have in their contract if they make the playoff, if they don't make the playoff. You know, a lot of people don't talk about incentives on clauses of other players. If they get so many INTs or if they get so many rushing yards or touchdowns. But if you want to be able to sully something, yeah, I would let that be known. Hey, talk about this. Yeah, that's what we're dealing with.
General manager is or who their owner is. It gets down to the one that lives with what they are themselves, and then probably their second most important consideration, or maybe their first most in consideration above themselves, is their teammate. And so it's not uncommon because we've got almost 100 players. And since I've been involved with the Cowboys, I dare say I'm approaching 4,000 players since I've been involved.
Wow.
And so those are a lot of people. And the appreciation is that you have in common is that you love sports, you love to compete. But I'm going to tell you, I have a unbelievable high ceiling on what I think of players that give it up and play football. Now, they have to really, really, especially at the NFL level, they have to have given up a lot to get there.
Yeah, that's subjective, right? Giving up a lot to get there. All right, so we won't make the show about 5 hours long. Let's go ahead and try to open up the phone lines, make a real quick point, and get on up out of here. Happy Friday to you all. Happy New Year to you all. I just want to touch this little bitty point right here. We say a lot of tongue-in-cheek stuff, right? Giving up time and this person, if they are really dedicated. So when is the focus, should be the focus only on football, right? Who makes it? Who determines that? Huh? Jerry, if the focal point is about football and winning, then why we got all of these Netflix documentaries, man? Why was it such a crazy back and forth with guys that absolutely put everything on the line to win it, right? With Jimmy Johnson and yourself. If it's about winning, then let it be about winning. But if it's about chauvinist and showing up and having a great time, let it be about that. But you can't have it both ways. You can't have it both ways and expect the results of what winning franchises do. And I know, here's the other thing that people like to throw in. Well, other teams haven't won in 30 years and 30 seasons or more, or other teams haven't made it to multiple playoff wins and these sorts of things. The overall picture of it is that it's damn near hard to win the Super Bowl. It's not an easy thing. But it's triple time harder when you have flies and gnats at the barbecue and you're just trying to enjoy. And that's what we deal with every year, year in and year out. Flies and gnats, man, at the barbecue. Let's get it.
It starts from the first phone call. Most of the time, you're going to talk to Gene Burkett, a 30-year partner. You're not going to talk to some employee that just got put on the phones that day.
There are things that are so crucial, especially if it's a cataclysmic event, to have our experts get out and look at the vehicle, witness statements, photos, the whole thing.
Call Frenkel first. Chosen by the people, feared by the insurance companies. Call Frenkel first.
No doubt, that is 817 in every 3 or 214 in every 3. Be sure to reach out to our proud partners, Frenkel and Frenkel Personal Injury Lawyers. Located here in the heart of Dallas, Frenkel and Frenkel Personal Injury Lawyers, backed by a combined of 100 years of experiences. Keep this onto your mental mindset. That's combined, not individual. They're not vampires, but they will vamp for you, and they will protect you, unlike those insurance companies. If you can't visit FrankelFirm.com, just visit FrankelFirm.com. Just visit them anyhow. My bad, I messed that part of the lyric up. Didn't y'all hear that? If you can't visit FrankelFirm.com. If you can't visit FrankelFirm.com, that's okay. Just reach out to me then, 657-390-7391, and I will be able to help you out over here. How about that? Boy, I messed that last part up. But if you can't dial that number, visit FrankelFirm.com. I got 979, you in the mix. DP, talk to me.
What's going down with you, Law?
Nothing much, man. Yes, indeed.
Yes, sir. I know you said to make it quick, so I'll make it quick. Just one big question, you can drop me down. Now, by no means am I wishing for the good Lord to call Jerry home too soon, but what kind of an owner do you think Stephen Jones will be? I know that Wick said we don't know when that's going to happen, but obviously eventually it's going to happen. So what are your thoughts on that?
I think that Stephen Jones will still do the classical 2 to 3 interviews a week, right? So that's at least minimum the extra 3 interviews, because Jerry do 2 interviews a week plus game day, right? So at least we're going to hear less conversation, right? So we get that part out of the way. All right, so we got that part out of the way. According to John Machota, and we talked about this on the Cowboys Collective, is the simple fact that, this is allegedly, Stephen Jones shies away from the spotlight. He's not up front and up and personal with these type of things. He's not a combative person going back and forth online or with the beat reporters. So you remove all of that, and like he was saying, that he would like to be more in control of like the pie, which will be another conversation, right? But at least he will empower someone else, because he was gung-ho about Mike Vrabel being the next coach for the Cowboys, right? It's just that things didn't work out as far as money-wise and a whole bunch of other stuff. But he would empower Mike Vrabel. I'm thinking that Alex Loomis will become the chairman or whoever, what Will McClay does for the Cowboys. And ultimately, Will McClay will be the general manager. Alex Loomis will have Will McClay's spot. And Stephen Jones will be the de facto owner, president of operation for the Cowboys, and they will hire whoever it would take far as them to be the general manager, but not him. That's how I look at it. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I was actually just about to talk about when we all were speaking on that on the Cowboys Collective. So that definitely gave me a different possible view of Stephen Jones, because the only thing I think would be my heavy concern was is that the fact about how he is about money, because I just recall that when I can't remember what the clip was, but I think it's when they were talking about how they went and got Deion and how much it cost to get Deion, and Stephen even back then was yapping about how much it costs and things of that nature. So, but I definitely don't think he'll be that exact way like Jerry is. But I appreciate you taking my call, answering my question, Law.
No doubt, man.
Take it easy, man. I'm gonna stay tuned in.
Appreciate you, man. Thank you. That's DP,
yes,
man, with a great conversation from the 979. Pittman, D. Pittman. Since we got so many DPs, I just want to say this too. and I'm going to pre-shame myself. Where my pre-shame button at?
Shame. Shame. Shame.
It's an unpopular opinion. Just an opinion, because it's not based off of any facts. But this is just my opinion. We didn't need Deion Sanders to win the Super Bowl. Let me say this again. We didn't need Deion Sanders to win the Super Bowl. I'm going to say it one more time. We didn't need Deion Sanders to win the Super Bowl. Matter of fact, the year before that time frame, if only we were focused in from a coaching philosophy and from a Jimmy Johnson, if he was still there, we would have won that game with Deion on the other side looking in. What I'm saying is Deion needed us to win the Super Bowl. We didn't need Deion Sanders to win the Super Bowl. We needed a Charles Haley to take us over the top. But when you have lack of coaching, and this is one of our problems, even to this day, when you have lack of coaching and sternness and foundation-wise, you're going to need all of that said talent to be on the forefront. Now, I'm not taking away from the 9-5 and the 9-6 or what have you season, but what I'm saying is basically when you don't have the coaching ability, then that's when you need the talent to make sure that it can equal out your insufficiencies. If the Cowboys were to have a say of keeping Jimmy Johnson, we would have won more than 3 and 4 Super Bowls since 19 of 95. But by the way the team was structured, they had to go out there and get someone to overcompensate the lack of coaching capabilities. And that is the problem. So now what we've been doing ever since we got rid of, not prime time, but ever since we got rid of prime Jimmy Johnson, we've been chasing talent. And we got a boatload of talent. If you contextualize in the last 30 years, 30 seasons of how many Pro Bowlers, how many All-Stars we had on this team, it never been the lack of talent. It's been the lack of coaching, the stability to elevate the entire room. Coach is supposed to elevate the players, not the players elevate coaching. But what's happening here in Cowboys land and world is that we've been depending on the talent of the said players to overcome the coaching insufficiency or inability and less assertiveness from coaching from that particular aspect of it. Schottenheimer, as good as his rookie year been, it's been just as bad as well on the ability to delegate, the ability to insert himself and be more assertive and say, hey, I get what you're trying to do, Matt Eberflus, but damn it, I need to win. I hate losing. I love winning. I hate losing more than I love to win. That should have been the conversation. I don't think that they ever had that conversation. I get your I get how you feeling about Kenneth Clark or Kenneth Murray, I meant to say. I get how you feel about Siobhan Revel and his knees. I feel how you feel. I understand how you feel about Trayvon Diggs. Oh, I understand how you feel about Mears Learfowl. Or whoever is on this team that's not giving the inputs that you want. but from a head coach positioning. He should be able to walk into that room with great authority and say, we got to get these things to change now. It's on my resume, not yours. That's what Jimmy Johnson would have been able to do. To a point, that's where we were heading. Woo! It just hit me. Baby, that's where we were heading with Bill Parcells. Jerry got in the way. We didn't need Terrell Owens on this team. Jerry wanted Terrell Owens on this team. If you were to give Bill Parcells more time to allow him to put his fingerprints and his philosophy on this team, you wouldn't even think of a Terrell Owens, even though Terrell Owens was a catalyst for 2007 and 08. But Parcells was able to see down the line and said that goes against my overall philosophy on what we need for this organization. It's going to go over a lot of people's head, but that's just for what it is. They were a playoff team before Terrell Owens got here. That's why Bill Parcells was saying, basically, technically speaking, he's just a player. I'm just going to call him player. Just going to call him player. All right, I got Cuddy from the 313. You're live on the Nation. Talk to me.
Hey, Law. Happy New Year, brother.
Happy New Year to you, man.
Now, listen, I'm always with you 100%. I disagree with you a little bit. In principle, I'm with you 95%.
That's okay.
But
yeah,
you gotta have some of them guys put you over the top. So give me 30 seconds, just real quick. Just
Take your
30
time.
seconds.
Take your time. Take your time.
You when you talk about that team, that team with Terrell Owens.
Yeah.
Man, when they added him, that took that team offensively over the top. Remember Romo and they had Terry Glenn then, and I mean that thing was dynamic. And there's no way they should have lost the Giants. They had beat the Giants twice during the regular seasons, and them games really weren't close. And they got in the playoffs, man. And I know, okay, again, we talk about some coaching, but
we talking about need. We talking about need versus want versus the long run. And if I'm trying to establish something, and if I'm the de facto head coach, I need to have that authoritative figure. But if I have two masters, I know how to circumvent that and still work around it, because that's why he knew that he lost a third of his powers once Terrell Owens got here. But keep going. But you cooking though. Keep going, because I love different opinions. Go ahead.
No, I'm with you. So let me ask you this: how would he have done with a Charles Haley? Because remember, Charles Haley hated Jimmy Johnson, and he came out and said he said it. You know what I mean? But when you added Charles Haley to that team, you know, like I think I'm with you 95%.
Right.
Certain guys you gotta add that take you over. Ain't no
Charles. Let me just throw this in. Charles Haley was a saint compared to Lawrence Taylor, and he got 2 rings from Lawrence Taylor. I'm talking about Parcells. But keep going.
Yeah,
that's how he would have dealt with that.
Remember, right, but LT was his guy from the start. That's the difference. I think if Terrell Owens would have came in with Parcells as opposed to now you dropping him on the team, that's a whole different dynamic. Because you're right, LT was out there.
Yeah, out there. Yeah.
Right. So I'm with you, but I'm just saying, like, for the Deion thing is strange to me because they either needed Deion on Dallas or off of San Francisco. Either way, because that, to your point about the coaching, San Francisco figured out, okay, well, look, what we'll do is we just gonna put Dion on Michael, and then we'll double team Harper, and then we'll have Norton and them guys on Novacek, and they toast because they're running the same plays for the last 3 years because nothing new after Jimmy left. I mean, tell me if I'm wrong.
Well, outside of that PI that happened in '94, you get what I'm saying? I think that, you know, if you have the kind of caliber of coaching, remember we came out really slow in that game. We wasn't amped up to play. And I'm thinking if you look at Jimmy Johnson, who disregarded natural life because it was only about football at that point, and making a point that we just going to beat teams up to submissions, right? So you're looking at different mindsets, right? I think that we probably be a +7 or a +10 in that game with a good coach. That's all I'm saying. And then Barry Switzer, man, there's no shade upon him. Hall of Famer as it relates to collegiates from where he was coming from. But people were not taking him seriously because they were sitting there like, oh, we get this day off? We get that off?
Yeah.
Oh, man, we can talk back about this? It was a lack of sense of urgency, and the whole entire team became I wanted to say, that's when it became this version. It became this versions of the Cowboys. That the players and the stars, nobody feared anyone anymore. And the only person that could control that was Troy Aikman.
Right.
Who, by the way, I heard some updates that he's thinking about getting into GMing. But that's a whole nother conversation. But go ahead.
Yeah. But I'm saying schematically with Switzer, when he came in, he didn't change nothing, which, you know, this league will catch up with you.
It will.
So coming into that game, right? You know what I mean? So to your point, that goes back. That's why I say I'm with you 95%.
Right.
With it. Because the coaching, you have to adjust to make it. You can't just keep rolling the same thing out there. But I'm saying I do think you need to get to a certain point where you got to have guys. When we get back to the second real good Romo team, the one that lost to Green Bay and all that, and the catch, and I get all that, but people forget it was 5 minutes left on there. If we get the touchdown, we got to be able to stop them, and we didn't have no pass rusher, and so you know what I mean. I want us to have a chance, but that team is with DeMarco Murray was really good. I think he fumbled. He had a key fumble in that game too, but that team didn't have no pass rusher. So I guess what I'm saying is
it was a combination of that fumble and on top of that missed kick by Dan Bailey. A lot of people don't bring that up, but you know.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. But keep going, keep cooking.
Yeah. No, so I'm with you with that. I do think to put you over the top, you need certain star guys. That's why like this thing with Pickens is annoying me, Law, because it's like they're going to play the same dumb game. They haven't learned. Mulugeta is the agent. We're going to go through all this nonsense again. They should already have him signed. They should be able to go in free agency, attack some of the things that we need to get, and reduce some of the holes we have. And then when we go into the draft, now we can focus on what we need.
Facts.
But Jerry doesn't learn. Jerry don't learn. This is going to be the same damn thing. Talking about he expect to negotiate with the player and the agent. And he don't like Mulugeta. And it don't help that he a brother. I'm just going to go on and say it. That probably don't help. You know, this cocky dude doing all this stuff. But I'm just saying that's the problem that we have. Because when you add a Pickens, now you got Pickens and CD out here, and in their mind they'll be like, "Well, Flo is ready to step up and be Pickens." You know, like they're gonna feed us that kind of nonsense if somehow Pickens walk, or they put him on the tag and just kick it down the line. Yeah. So, you know, I mean, that's
this is the thing though, and people fail to realize, you know. Tyler Smith is with, you know, David Mulugeta people, you know. So athletes first. And we got more than one player that signed under that umbrella. Of course, Sam Williams, and he may not be back here again for next season. We'll see how that materializes through the offseason. But just because, you know, Pickens is signed under David Mulugeta and Jerry Jones did lament the fact that he's going to talk directly to the player, that's old man talk. It could be tongue in cheek. Jerry knows that I gotta win the headlines through the off season because my team, I would rather have them talked about negative or positive, versus not talked about at all, right? So this is the thing. We all know that Jerry Jones is stuck in all his ways. What we got to hope for this offseason is not for this to be drugged out and for Pickens to go ahead. Either you're going to sign him or you're just not going to. But let's not drag this out and get things going. That should be the number one priority.
You're right. No, you're right 100%. If they tag him, then what happens?
Is us working backwards. Now, here's the thing. I'm pro no tag players, right? I'm pro that. No franchise tag players, right? But I'm also pro if you're going to tag them, at least negotiate with him because you're trying to reserve that, right? You're trying to keep records of I'm going to tag this guy so that I can reserve the conversation so that they can work out whatever deal. But what I'm ultimately against on the tag is that player playing under that tag. Yes, it's money up front, $28 to $30 million guaranteed for one single year. And I would love for somebody to bless me with $30 million and say, hey, Law, prove it. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you dealing with a bookie now. You know what I'm saying? I win regardless of the situation, especially all of the money being guaranteed. Come on, God, challenge me. Test me with that. $30 million. Prove it. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, it damaged the team collectively because you can't prorate that money. You can't spread that money around. You can't sign other deals. But it will preserve you to have George Pickens here for another season. And in his mindset, it would be, damn, even though I got the money, what happened if I tweak my knee? What happens if my productivity is stipend? I would never get the true money on the other end, which is multiple years. Everybody want to be comfortable, at least to that degree of knowing where they're going to lift their head up and open their eyes at. You know what I'm saying? For at least foreseeable future. Nobody want to want a year-to-year deal. No, you know.
Right. No, yeah, 100%, man. I just, it just seemed like it's Groundhog Day, that movie with Bill Murray. We just keep doing the same thing. Because we got too many holes. Not like we have to, and not good. I ain't talking about area codes, right? We got too many holes. I mean, we like for us to really get this straight, we need to be able to work in free agency. We gotta find not the Dollar Tree free agency. I mean, I'm not saying go out and spend up all, but be smart. Mm-hmm. We got to do some of that, and then the draft, because yes, we have 2 first-round draft picks, but then after that, we don't draft again to the 4th round.
Right.
People forget that, and all the holes that we have. I mean, you know, them tackles. You know what I mean? And even if you slide, I guess you could say, okay, slide Smith to your left tackle, and then if you got faith in your boy, kick him out the right tackle. I mean, I don't know what they're going to do. But I know you got issues tackle. You got issues in those linebackers, that secondary. I still think you need a home run in that backfield. A guy, and if you could get the guy from Seattle, because he's a free agent. If you got him on a good deal, and we lost Williams, is it Kenneth? What's his name?
Walker. Right.
Walker got home run speed. I mean, he hit that thing, and we need a guy like that. And if you got him, Pickens, CD, man, now you got a balanced offense with that you can do. So I just need some foresight in what they're doing. Like, they need to be strategic, not this nonsense that they get tied up in.
Yeah.
So I don't know what you think about that, man, but that's just the way I see it. I don't know.
Good call for you, man. Thank you for calling in. It's Cuddy from the 313.
All right, thank you.
Good call. Good observation. All right, so in that middle round where we don't have picks at, here's what I'm going to say. F the picks, y'all. F the picks. And get right here. We got some update news. Here's why I say F the picks. And excuse my French for those who probably watching. And they say, man, hey, Law said F picks. You know, what do that mean, Mom? What do that mean, Dad? What do F picks means? Forget those picks. That's what the F stands for. Because I'm looking at a screen grab or a website from Tankathon, and it's breaking down like the picks that we had before in 2023. None of these guys going to give us any movement for the 2026 season as it relates to worthy of having on the team. So that's why I say, if you had 8 picks in this draft, what would it take to package up some of these bottom end picks and just move up? That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get as close and as many of the top 100 draft picks in this draft, and that's my game. If you below 100, then I'm trying to package them things up so I can get free agencies. I'm trying to go with the known commodity. I know there's the unknown and the known and the unknown, and all of the unknowns of the unknown. Let's go.
Well, what I'm saying is that there are known knowns and that there are known unknowns, but there's also unknown unknowns. Things we don't know that we don't know.
Things that we don't know that we don't know. Now, granted, I know somebody going to say, well, look at Brock Purdy. He's playing lights out for the 49ers. Well, it depends on what system you go to as well, right? We can point out some players that played pretty well on the back end of these drafts, and that's granted. But my philosophy is I'm trying to win now. And just like the caller said, hey, we got holes. And we got many of holes. So what you try to do is patch up these damn holes with something that's been here before, right? No newness. Draft picks are meant to develop. And if we are a drafting and developing team and we trying to put a players who's developing to fix a hole, they ain't going to know how to hit that hole as much as possible. There's starting to be some loose ends of that hole. There are going to be some areas that you didn't realize until you get into that hole that, hey, this is where you needed to hit it at. This was what makes it a possibility to be excited about. And the only time that you can get something like that is something that's been off in that hole before. And that is talent. That's in the free agency. You got to supplement that, ladies and gentlemen. You got to be able to read through this and say, yeah, we got a hole at the DB room. But picking a guy, drafting him in the 3rd round with a half of a leg, he's not going to be able to fit right then and there. And I'm not beating him up, by the way. But next year, Revel may be just that guy. But not his first rookie year. You're not going to find anything that's in this draft in the later or the latter rounds to be that difference maker. But damn it, you can fully say to yourself, hey, if I go into this free agency and I pull somebody who know how to fit a hole, then baby, we good. Some of y'all are crazy. Some of y'all crazy, man. I ain't trying to say it's like throwing a hot dog down the hallway, right? You're not catching nothing in between those particular holes and slots. I'm not saying it that way. I'm not saying that it's the draft and it's too small. But what I'm saying is that you got to circumvent some things. You can't just be a draft and developing team. You got to be able to dance around in free agency. You got to be able to will and deal and move off from some people and get something in return. I got the next caller from the 901. You're live on The Nation. Talk to me.
Shout out Law Nation. Shout out Cowboy Nation. Shout out Memphis. Shout out TSU. Shout out JSU. Shout out Coach Shotty. Shout out Coach Flores. That's going to be next coach. Shout out CD. Shout out GP. Shout out Devontae. Shout out O-line, D-line, special teams, Turpin. Let's get it. Cowboy Nation in the house. Memphis in the house. Shotty's a great coach, man. The pressure he was under this year, a tragedy. The pressure of management, the pressure of the players. Our coach did a pretty good job considering all things his first year. He's changing the culture. He's making these guys work. He's making these guys grind. He's making these guys put in the effort. He's making these guys play. I need Cowboy Nation to be with me. I need Cowboy Nation to represent with me. That's all I got. It's on the house. Tear the club up. Tear the club up.
Tear the club up.
I'm out. Memphis,
Yes,
I'm
indeed.
out.
Look at my African American over here.
Yo, for the 901, baby. Come on with it.
I got nothing but love for you, baby.
Got nothing but love for my guy, man. No, I'm not.
Are you shit?
No. Shout out. Baby. And remember, sounds of soft souls and hits and oldies from the 901. You know. Yes, indeed. My guy always uplifting this entire team, man. I love it, man. So shout out to 3-6 Mafia and beyond. Shout out to everybody, man. West Coast, East Coast, South Coast, North of the border and North Coast, if there's ever such a thing. Shout out to everybody, man. Yes, indeed. So we got some updated news before I go into further details here. Let me see if I can pull this around before I let the next caller on, man. But, you know, boy, shout out to everybody. Country Black, baby. Oh, shoot. Shout out to Law Nation now. Shout out to Law Nation. And all of the things that we need to talk about. All right. So it's a market of a 25-year-old, Wan'Dale Robinson, who I was high on coming out of college, had 92 catches for 1,014 yards, 4 touchdowns. He'll be 25, old free agent this offseason. That's for my guy Schultz, man. Showed him a little love on resharing this. And shout out to Wan'Dale Robinson. So that's how the market was going to look. I can't wait to see what he's going to look like, knowing that they didn't have a quarterback to throw him the ball, and he was doing that. DeMarvion Overshawn, Siobhan Revel, Javonte Williams has been ruled out of this game. Now, according to information and resources here, let me make sure that if I can, let me peep around in my private closet over here of all of the good information for the nation. Let me see what we got. Let me see. Bear with me, Cowboys. Bear with me. Let me see if there's something that we can pull up right quick. Give me 1 second. So they moving Javonte Williams, who's 25. Okay. All right. So he had these type of things of what I have far as contract notes. Per game activated. Per bonuses, he get $29,411 for every game far as the game day active bonus. So if he don't play on game day or a active bonus, he do not receive, pretty much we're just going to round up to $30,000. He would not receive $30,000 bonus extra. That's how much. So every time y'all turn on the TV screen and you see Javonte Williams running with 33, he getting $30,000, right? So by him not being active this week, he would not get his $30,000 worth of bonus. Also, he have a clause in his contract that he receive if he get 1,250 yards, he will receive $250,000. Let me pull up Javonte Williams stat line. Do anybody have his stat lines ahead of us? Let me see Javonte Williams stats. Let me see for this season. How many? Hold on, stats. Come on, stats. How many he had this season? The man is 49 yards away. Cowboys, man. The man is 49 yards away, man, for receiving $250,000, man. Are they going to waive it, or are they going to make some type of breaking news and announcements? Come on, man. Hold on.
It's an evil world we live in.
All right, hold on. Let me make sure. I'm going to ESPN. All right. He needs 49 yards to receive $250,000. He needs 49 yards to receive that amount of money. Let me see. Let that man get 49 yards. Okay, so that should be, look, if they mention all of that stuff, you can't have Coach both ways now. And let me look up my notes too. What else he need? All right, hold on for me. Cause all right, so if Javonte Williams get 12 touchdowns, he would have $250,000. Oh my God, the man got 11 touchdowns. Hey, they doing this man dirty, man. He just need one more touchdown, and he would get $250,000. That should be a cut up, man. So you mean to tell me he can't get 49 yards? You can't put that brother down inside the goal line for one more touchdown? That's $500,000, man. Come on, man. Hey, Javonte, fight for it, man. Tell him, man, just put you out there on the goal line. At least give you $250,000, man. Pay that man. Yeah. So, yeah, I should make a post of saying it's a damn shame, man. This man is that close to getting this money, and he's not able to do it. Man, just put me, hey, let's do a favor. Jerry, give me number 33, man. Put me down at the goal line. I'll run it for $250,000, man. Yeah, that man can get $500,000.
Take the money out, all of it.
That's generational money, man.
Wasting my time now. Come on.
That's lifestyle changing money right there. $500,000. You gonna do this to me, Jerry? You gonna pour me when I just need 49 yards and a touchdown? That's $500,000, man. Come on, man.
Barton! What is
They can come closer than close, yeah. Original they never will be.
Man, I'm petty law now. Let me look behind the curtains on behind the scenes of what is needed for George Pickens to get extra money. I'm gonna pull that up later on. I have three. These are last three callers here.
The conference has been locked.
It's gonna be 409, and then it's gonna be walk away from the 972, and then VIP. So for the 409, what's on your mind?
Hey, what's up, Lord? This is Brandon. Hey, that's crazy though. That's real crazy that Jerry trying to keep that man from getting that money.
Yeah.
But I was calling and stuff. You know, when Al Davis passed, and you know his son, whatever his son name is and stuff, you don't hear nothing about him. So I'm hoping the same thing happened when Jerry passed, because Jerry Jones is this generation's Al Davis.
Right. And they both had 3 Super Bowl rings. It's wild, huh? You know, as owners and general managers and all of that. And they both started off hot and then fizzled out. So maybe time get kind of like rewind and reminding us of each other. And they both had sons, right? That pretty much involved with a lot of stuff. I do think that whatever Al Davis' son name is, I think that, you know, he's not doing a great job, but he's at least allowing others to participate. Like Tom Brady's in the mix. I'm quite sure that the Raiders had an off season on purpose, because I'm thinking that they're going to look into this draft. They're going to get them a quarterback, and they're going to add some pieces to defense. Watch next season. Raiders might turn some heads, man.
Yeah, and you the thing about Troy Aikman, you know, he's helping Miami pick their new GM. And so I feel like
Tom Brady? I thought Tom Brady was. Oh,
no, it's Troy Aikman.
Oh, Troy Aikman.
Miami,
okay.
Yeah, he's helping the Miami Dolphins look for their next GM. And so it's always been said that Troy Aikman wants to be a general manager and stuff, but to come to the Cowboys, he didn't want to deal with Jerry and stuff. And that's a shame that a lot of people that don't know that when all this, you know, when the year that Jerry was talking about that he was stepping down as a general manager, he was entertaining that Troy Aikman be the general manager, and then Troy Aikman went out there and said he didn't want to deal with Jerry in that part, in that aspect.
All right. Hey, that's going to be something nice. You know what I'm saying? There's going to be something nice to see that. As far as, being the person that helped pick out versus the guy that actually do the work, that's going to be very intriguing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's for what it is, Yeah. Man, somebody messed me up in the comment box. I said, nah, man, Mark Davis is Al Davis' brother, not son. Nah, that's his son. Yeah, me double checking my research there. But yeah, you're right. With Troy Aikman, we've been talking about for months and years about Troy Aikman impact as it relates to being like a general manager. Now he do have a bad picking selection because I remember he banged the table for David LaFleur. Not to say that he's going to be that guy, but it is for what it is. I think that Troy Aikman, his assertiveness and his leadership wise and his willing to win could be something that could be very much so tangible for him to be. But my thing is, we all know that Jerry Jones don't pay these guys. And even if he's like the general manager for the Cowboys or even to a degree a head coach, he's going to take a pay cut. Troy makes some money, man, with the ESPN.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but I think I just hope this culture change and stuff because like we Cowboys are circus and stuff. Like we are every player that leaves, they seem to go to a better situation. Some of them, not all of them, but some of them go to a better situation and stuff. And so I hope Jerry realizes stuff. It's not the players, it's him.
Right.
But that's too much like saying that an old dog gonna change their stripes because I need to do better. I need to make this team better and stuff. So.
No doubt, man. Appreciate you, man. Thank you for calling in.
All right. Happy New Year's.
Happy New Year to you, man. That's Brandon.
All right.
409. All right. We got Walker Wade that's going to be on next. But before I let Walker Wade on, do me a huge favor. Continue to hit that like button, share this content. And, people fail to realize the analysts that's on TV make more money and have less time, more time, I believe, than there is to be a coach. Here's the thing. Being an analyst on TV, there's no win or loss record that's tied to you. And you make more money. Shoot, there's a lot of tongue in cheek, even with Rex Ryan. Well, not Rex Ryan. Yeah, Rex Ryan, the guy, the color analyst for ESPN. He's making $8 to $9 million. Let me see how much money he's making on ESPN. Hold on. Ryan, Rex Ryan. Salary. Hold on. Let me see. ESPN. So many people are like, hey, man, yeah. Okay, so I can see that. So Rex Ryan is making $5.5 million just to be on TV. There's no win to loss ratio. Your coach here is making $4 million to $5 million as the head coach. Why would he step down from ESPN and he don't have a win to loss ratio? And I know pride is one thing, but you can literally do that until you old and gray, until your teeth fall out your face and all of that stuff. Yeah, he make more and more money just sitting in the studios. They don't have no win to loss ratio. So that's why when Rex Ryan was asking about the head coaching spot here, that he said, man, the Joneses can't afford me. Or when he was asking about being a DC again, and why would he be why would he be a subject to being under someone when he have the wisdom and knowledge and experiences here? Why would he be subject to be like under someone when he clearly can make more money? And I'm thinking that ego got in the way, even with Matt Eberflus with that. The Cowboys paying that man $4 million. And they turned around and hired him before they played Schottenheimer. And Schottenheimer making about $500,000 more. Money plays a big role into this, especially when you're talking about checking egos and beyond. So that's part of the culture problem too. That's part of it, unfortunately. I got Walker Wade, man, from the 972. You're live on the Nation, brought to you by Frenkel and Frenkel Personal Injury Lawyers.
What up, Law? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you, man.
Yeah. No, I wanted to talk because y'all were talking about Bill Parcells earlier.
Right.
I don't think Jerry drove Bill Parcells out of here. If you watch Football Life, Bill Parcells, I don't know if you've watched it or anyone has, but he talks about it at the end that after that loss to Seattle in the playoffs, that doubt was creeping in his mind. Like, I don't know if I could do another off season. Like, I don't know if I can go through another training camp, another draft, another off season. And he said when that creeped into his mind, he knew it was time to let it go.
Yeah. Can you imagine doing another off season? Can you imagine doing that?
Yeah, with that team.
Well, no. I'm talking about in general. Always looking over your shoulder. Always being bumped around with Jerry. So that's probably why he said that too. Now, one thing I can tell you about Parcells, he's a whole lot seasonal and wiser. So he always left the door cracked. He never shut it, And you just never know when it's time for you to circle back around. See, some of these young guys, they don't understand that. Even Michael Parsons, he should have let water be under the bridge, let it continue to flow. Because one thing I can tell you about life in general, it'll come back around. People fail to realize even Herschel Walker made himself back onto the Cowboys, by the way. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, he did. He did in the late 90s.
Yeah, but keep going.
Oh, but Bill Parcells, he said, he regrets, later on, he's older now, but he said, he should have stayed because I think that 2007 team was ready. I think they were ready to make a run to the championship.
Yeah.
I just, they were built, by him, drafted. Jerry added in some free agents. They went heavy in free agency that offseason, too. They got Kyle Kosar and Leonard Davis and Andre Gerard. You had Terrell Owens. I mean, they went heavy in free agency, Aiken Adele and Ken Hamlin. So they weren't afraid to go out and spend money. That's the type of Jerry I need right now. Go out there and spend some money like you did in 2007, 06. Bring these guys in and let's go make a run. But even when we had the teams, Law, I mean, the front offices still made some mistakes. 2013 Cowboys, they let DeMarcus Ware walk. Imagine you think DeMarcus Ware would have helped in 2014?
I think so. We had Aaron Rodgers who was running around with half of a leg. Yeah, couldn't get to him.
He would have helped, so, even in 94, you were talking about the middle of the 90s Cowboys, one of the big mistakes was letting Ken Norton go. You shouldn't have let Ken Norton get out that door to go to San Francisco.
Facts.
Should have never let that happen, which I don't think they would have won. I mean, that's what the 49ers did. They went out and signed every little free agent on defense to beat us.
Yeah.
Cowboys should have never let that happen.
Shouldn't have never allowed it. And we was down like I said, that year we was 12-5, we lost 5 games. Should have had a better record. It was just one of those things whereas the team itself just wasn't really ready and without Jimmy. It's just different.
Before that year, but you can't get down 21-0 in the first 5 minutes of the game. I mean, that was you can't do that.
Yeah, slow starts, man. Not being able to be focused in and thinking that everything is creme de la creme, far as the cherry. And
Emmett was also hurt too. Remember, he had that hamstring issue.
Yeah.
So I mean, there was a lot of things. Even in '96, you go back and look at '96, the Cowboys, had that playoff game against Carolina. Barry Switzer made a good argument. Man, they had Dion. That game they were without Dion. I think Michael Irvin went down. Charles Haley. Man, when you lose guys like that in the game, you're going to have a hard time making a run.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it was just, I say they say don't live in the past, but, I mean, that's kind of what we're holding on to now, unfortunately.
That's all we got, man. The Fall of the Cowboys would be a great book for somebody. And then hopefully we can have, the rise of the Cowboys 30 years later. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that could be a good book. I think it's going
to happen when Jerry goes and to them pearly gates. I think things will change. I don't wish death on Jerry, but I'm like, damn, bro, it's been 30 years already, man. This shit is getting ridiculous.
It is, man. It's crazy.
Just, I mean, the damn Detroit Lions and Washington. I never thought I'd see the day where Washington and Detroit went to an NFC championship before we did. I never thought I'd see that shit.
Yeah.
And it happened.
And all three of us will be at the house watching this week, you know what I'm saying, after this week. So that's the good thing about it. That's the only good thing about it, man. I appreciate you, Walker Wade, man. Thank you so much for calling in.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, man. That's for my guy, Walker Wade from the 972. And I got my brother from another mother, no other, don't look like Danny Glover, but keep it cool with his VIP from the 860. You're live on The Nation. Talk to me.
Lord's VIP, baby.
Yeah.
Lord, respectfully, Lord, you know I ain't tapping in a minute. I'm still on the sideline. I'm still lurking, Lord. But what are we talking about? I have to, for the next 3 or 4 months, have faith in Jerry and his incompetent son.
Yeah.
This is what I gotta have faith in for the next few months, Lord. Lord, give me some opium, Lord. Give me something to be.
Well, after this week, because I'm kind of like, okay, this is the last game of the season. I just want our guys to come out healthy, right? And I think that they rest assured they should. We speaking that into existence. But with that being said, this offseason, I need to see the fireable offense, man, of Matt Eberflus. I think that was a fireable offense of what happened this season. Regardless, I don't want no retake. I don't want no redo. I don't want to bring that back. I do not want that flavor. You know what I'm saying?
So the day of, in fact, at 4, what time that game gonna be over? 4:13, 4:20. I want his ass fired, Lord.
Yeah.
He shouldn't take the plane back. Make his ass take a train back to the sport.
Right. Leave him in Giants land. You know. Yeah. And leave him, man. He close to you now. You know. Shoot, they should be able to bring him over to VIP house, man. Come on, man. Set him up somewhere.
I can take him on a tour of the 2 train in the Bronx. That's what I'll do to Eberflus.
Okay.
I'll give him a nice tour of the 2 train in the Bronx, and I'll let him off somewhere in Brooklyn somewhere. But anyway, Lord, let me not. That's a dream I have. In fact, I want Jerry to go with him. I'll take Jerry on the train with his goddamn incompetent son. Bring all of them. Put them on a goddamn. See, I said I wasn't bringing this into the new year, Lord.
Yeah, it's a brand new year. New year, new you. Yeah.
I'm trying to go into this new year optimistic that we're gonna sign GP. I don't even want to think of him fumbling over this, Lord.
Yeah.
Because if my memory served me correctly, I remember when we was gonna pick Morse, and he said, "Oh, we already got Mike," and he said that was the worst mistake that he ever made.
Right.
So I see him drooling over Pickens when Pickens make plays when he's in the box, and his son is glazing him over, telling him how much of a good dad and GM he is, and then the rest of y'all glazing him over. Yo, stop getting autographs from this clown. Yeah. That's what y'all need to stop. Yo, why would y'all get a goddamn autograph from this? Yo, y'all line up.
Yeah.
I said, all right, B, calm down. Yeah, I'm gonna calm down. I'm not bringing that energy into this year, Lord, because I have faith, Lord. Our offense is A1. We got a bunch of bullet holes, Lord. We got so many holes in the goddamn, Lord, I feel like I'm 16 again and I'm still hoeing. We got so many goddamn holes in the backyard. Lord, what do we feel first, Lord? What do you think we should, with the first pick, Lord, I'm giving you the GM hat, Lord. With the first 2 first-round picks, Lord, I want to know where you're going. You don't have to give me a player. You can if you want, but I want to know what position you're filling with these 2 picks, Lord.
Most certainly, man. I'm just going to go ahead and give you a player in closing and everything. I would most certainly, if Jeremiah Love is there, he's my go-to guy. And I know we need help on defense, but I think that with the kind of caliber of run game that he brings to the table, that will help your defense, because I'm looking at time of possession, right? It's kind of like when the Detroit Lions traded up to go get Jahmyr Gibbs, right? I'm looking at it from that aspect. I'm looking at trying to bring back Javonte Williams on a low deal with incentive base given on that deal. And I'm trying to add to that running room in the free agency down the stretch, right? That's what I'm going to do, because I think it's easier to have a complete offense versus having a complete defense. We got so many areas that we need to improve at on defense, So that's why I will fix my defense primarily due to free agency before I get to the draft.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking, Lord.
Yeah.
Go get you those two players and rest all free agents, like DN and safety. These are veterans that you need. You can't pick Rook. You can pick Rooks who play behind them. But anyway, Lord, I gotta get out of here. I'm going to the gym, Lord. Lord's love. Send my love to the family, Lord. Yo, Lord, I'm on Netflix soon too, Lord, but we'll talk about that later, Lord.
Man, congratulations on that, big dog. Appreciate you, man.
Hey, that's my Breakfast Club family, Lord. If I'm on, you on. If I'm on, we on, Lord.
Come on with it, man. Let's get it. That's my guy. VIP, man. He ain't no killer.
Let me tap out. Before I tap out, Lord. How about damn Cowboys? I ain't a killer, but don't push me. My energy stay the same. Let's get it.
Yes, indeed, man. That's my guy, man. VIP. Yes, indeed. All right, so with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I think we had a great, productive day today. Enjoy your Fridays and enjoy your time here going into the final game of the year, Cowboys Nation. Let's figure out a way that we can stand tall or not at all. Far as the players that we will ultimately need in this draft, I go on BPA. I like the Caleb Downs. I love his tape. I like Jamad McCoy. Not in the first round, though. But that Mansour Delane, oh, my God. Look out my information that's on Instagram and as well as Facebook and as well as the Twitter or the X app. David Bailey, he's nice. So as we continue to look at some of the guys and their skill sets and tape, be sure that when I'm doing draft overviews and prospects, it's only for the betterment of this team, not necessarily who we're going to absolutely draft, by the way. One of the things that I want to say in departing, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls around this beautiful globe, we got to continue to move forward, not backwards. Continue to add to this team, not taking away. Yeah. But in departing, I want to be able to say these things about one of the kids that was a part of New Dallas, Z the Wizard. This past holiday, he was shot in the face. Not necessarily gone from this realm yet, but he's fighting for his life. So if you guys can put New Dallas in the chat, prayers up to Z the Wizard. We was going to work on a few projects. His PR was able to match us up together, and it just didn't materialize because we've been so busy. But we was going to work on some projects this summer. But what I'm saying is, in this time, tell me not and mourn for numbers. Life is but an empty dream, for a soul is dead that slumbers, and things are not what they seem. Life is real, and life is earnest. And let me just tell y'all, the grave is not its goal. Dust I are, to dust return, wasn't even spoken of the soul. In its broad fields of battle and bivouacs of life, be not like a dumb-driven cattle, but you can be that hero in the strifes. Lives of great men all remind us we can live our lives sublime, and departing leave behind us footprints on the mighty sands of time. Why do I say that poem when someone is gone? Because the footprints that we leave behind can be measured, can be tracked the distance of time. What are we doing to elevate the community? What are we doing to help bring unity together? Now, I get rapping and doing these type of things, celebrating, being celebratories of your area is what New Dallas was bringing to the table. And they still will continue to bring differences. But they was designed to build together a group to separate North Dallas from South Dallas, West Dallas to East Dallas. It's supposed to be just all one Dallas, not just these multitudes of separations. But hopefully with this new collaboratorial down the stretch, that something can come out good. But write this down into the hearts of your mind. I say this all the time. Stay true to you. If there's one thing a man should always do, it's mainly to himself stay true. Never allow someone to change your point of view unless what they bring or mean makes sense to you. Never judge a man by sight alone, nor by the height he has grown. And when speaking, keep it at a moderate tone, because raised voices only turn those hearts into stone. You see, in the beginning, it was brother I will ride with brother, roll with brother. The morals of life, live, love, and respect for another. Then there are those who will try to be smart. They would take the decent man to alter his heart, to seek to rip him apart. Those men you should never call a friend or a supporter, because naturally they are the enemy, because they will bend their lives around the truth to meet their end. That's been my time, Cowboys Nation. I really thank you all for yours. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. Let's get it. Prayers up to my guy, Z. Keep fighting. New Dallas, stand tall. Or not at all.
I wake up, flex,
come on.
Down that check. No,
and it's time to roll credits.
Might crash, might wreck, but first I stretch. I wake up, flex, down that check. No drip, this time to run it on. No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might wreck, but first I stretch. Time to run it on. 9 out of 10 roll through my hands, I'm by my lonely. Turned to a savage, now my baby wants to hold me. I love my fans, don't need no friends, I got my homies. Thought I could trust you, I find out you tried to zone me. I'm number one up on that court, I'm Nick McGrady. The first one in, the last one out, can't call me lazy. Put in my hours, send the invoice and they pay me. I need 6 rings like MJ.
Come on, baby, let's get them 6.
I wake up, flex, thumb down that check. No drip, this time to run it up.
Yeah.
No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might wreck, but first I
stretch it.
Time to run it up. I wake up, flex, thumb down that check. No drip, this time to run it up. No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might wreck, but first I stretch. Time to run it up.
Come on with it, baby.
I call up Nigeria, come through in a hurry. Those London boys don't come to play, you should get worried. One false move, find yourself, they getting buried. Dance with the devil, used to love playing those games. Made some bad decisions that brought my mama pain. I made a promise to her, swore that I would change. I'm on the come up, bet I live up to my name. I wake up, flex, I'm down that check. No drip, this time to run it up. No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might wreck, but first I stretch. Time to run it up. I wake up, flex, I'm down that check. No drip, this time to run it up. No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might wreck, but first I stretch. Time to run it up.
No doubt, man. Until next time, DC for life, not for short. I didn't know if y'all was playing or not in the chat, but if it's true, Simon Says passed away. I didn't know that. If it's true, before I say anything, put 3 in the chat so I know for sure that represent the 3 Super Bowls that we were able to witness together. But Simon Says, if he's gone to the next realm, put 3 in the chat so I'll know for sure. If y'all even know who Simon Says is. That's his channel. After doing my quick due diligence on this, is with sad news that yes, it is true. All I can say is even with that, Simons was a guy. Let me just give y'all my interpretations of Simons, what he meant to me. Starting off doing content creations, of course, he was one of the more vocal people in the community. And of course, me, I'm not a trash talking circle type of guy, but I do talk my trash. And me and him had a disagreement on some random topic. But as man, in being here in the city of Dallas, in the state of Texas, you bump into the people that you had your disagreements with. And I love the fact that we agreed to disagree and eventually became really one of the people on certain topics that he would check in and say, man, Law, even though I disagree with you on this, I like the way you stood tall and stand firm on your business. And from this day forward, shoot, I'm gonna rock with you, my dog. So he's one of the OGs that even though we had disagreements, even though we didn't see eye to eye on a lot of situations, lo and behold, boy, we eventually agreed on one thing, and that's that silver and blue with the star on the side of your helmet. We may not look the same, we may not talk the same, but damn it, we all bleed silver and blue the same. So RIP to my guy, Simons Says, one of the pillars of the Cowboys community, one of the OGs in the community, one of the people that reached out to me originally in the community. And I'm glad that we were able to have our disagreements so that all of this can happen. But I hate the fact that we can't live together to see what will happen when it's time for us to lift up that Lombardi trophy again. Let's get it. RIP to my guy. That hurts a little bit knowing that he's gone.
have to be your biggest fan. And when things are really tough and they're really rough and nothing's working, but there's something inside of you that says, I just have to follow that. Because you don't know who you're going to